are we left with the fact that a once nonprofit that still had a nonprofit component that went for profit ultimately was a business that had some complications behind the scenes?
I think that the answer to that question is still a bit TBD, right? This is, as you pointed out, it's got a really complicated structure. When they changed over from being a nonprofit to being a capped profit company, they even have a chart on their website to try to explain it to people. And I, like probably a lot of people, spend a lot of time staring at that this weekend, trying to understand a little bit better, what does that mean and how does it inform the structure of the company and all the control that this board has that sits at the very top of all of it?
How great is this for Satya Nadella, Rachel? I mean, initially he was apparently blindsided and livid about the firing of Sam Altman, but then the most important assets of OpenAI are now volunteering to just walk across the street and go work for him instead. I mean, I know they invested like $13 billion, but it's better than buying the company for 100, right?
It's pretty wild. I mean, I think that there are probably a bunch of regulatory issues that might come into play if that were actually to happen, if every single person who's signed this letter were to say, okay, that's it, I'm going across the street to Microsoft. But it sends a huge signal. I mean, to put this into perspective, what we have learned as of just a few minutes ago is that the vast majority of the company has signed this letter saying we may leave if the board does not resign. Greg and Sam don't come back, and we don't get some lead independent directors in here. It's over 700 employees signing this letter. There's about 770-ish people at OpenAI at this point. So that's like 91 or 92% of the company saying, we may leave if you don't do what we want.
And so with some of that reporting about the OpenAI staff threatening to leave, Rachel, what kind of board conversations happen next? I mean, I would have to think that having a conversation with Microsoft might have to be part of the equation for where we go next in this whole situation.
I think, as with a lot of this situation, some of it's kind of like a shruggy emoji, like we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. I guess it sort of depends on what the board's aims are. The existing members of the board, if their aim is to really slow down the development of the kinds of technology that OpenAI has been so good at, then I don't know if they're going to want all these people to stay. I think it's going to sort of remain to be seen. But I will point out that Ilya Sutskever, who was one of the people from OpenAI that had been instrumental in the process to oust Sam Altman, he signed this letter. So I think that's like a bit of an interesting twist here. So we're just going to have to stay tuned and keep chatting with people and figuring out what's going to happen next.